Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hall Family Wines Happy Hour. My name is Catherine Hall. Special thank you and welcome to all of you who have just joined us since Wednesday. We're so glad to have you here. I'm so glad that everybody could join today because we really have a very special program and it's going to be so much fun. We have the stars of The Young and the Restless, Lauralee Bell and Doug Davidson are going to be joining us a little bit later, and it's we get to hear from them about this amazing show that they have been on for years, and I just can't wait for the conversation. So first, I want to say to those of you who might be thinking of coming up to the wine country, we are open. We are doing our tastings outside. Here's a picture of Bunny Fufu at our St. Helena facility. We have tasting rooms all over, well, not all over, but we have 5 tasting rooms in Napa Valley and in Sonoma Valley. Each one of them has lovely outdoor seating. All of them, we are socially distanced. We want you to have a wonderful time and have some great wines while you're here, but we also want you to leave healthy. So come on up and join us. We are ready for you. We're also going to be drinking some lovely wines today with Doug and Lauralee. Here's a picture of the ones we've got. So if you feel like opening any of them and tasting them along with us, this is the time to go do that. We're going to have the Walt Pinot Noir from Savoy Vineyard. Next, we're going to have the Baca Zinfandel, the Double Dutch, which is on the far side of your screen. And then in the middle is the last wine that we're going to have. It's the Jack's Masterpiece Cabernet. So that's what we have in store for us. Welcome. And let's get going. I can't wait to bring on our very special guests. So The Young and the Restless is now in its 46th season. It has been for over 30 years the #1 daytime drama, which is just phenomenal success over the years. Our stars that are so graciously joining us today, Doug Davidson and Lauralee Bell, have been loved by so many of us over the years. They've given us tears, they've given us joy. They are loved by their fans and they are loved by their peers. They have received so many awards for what they do, including Daytime Emmys. They are both Daytime Emmy recipients. So let's bring them on and hear more about them and get to know them. Doug, Lauralee, are you there?
Hi. Wow.
Hey! So great to see you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
I'm ready to start drinking.
Hello, Doug. Okay. I think before we start, we need to have a glass of wine. I've got so many questions I want to ask you, and then we'll talk about the wine in just a little bit, but let's get a glass of wine in our hands. So I propose we use the magic of the internet. I'm going to pour this for you.
Okay.
This is our Savoy. I'm trying to get it center screen so you can see this. And Lauralee, I'm going to pass this first to you and pour you a glass.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Are you ready?
I am.
Woo! Yay! Okay. Now, Doug?
Yes, I'm ready. I've already figured it out.
Are you thirsty?
I'm really thirsty. Come on, Catherine.
I'm pouring it. Yes? Wow.
Cheers.
And I forgot to pour myself a glass, but here we go.
Oh,
Wonderful.
So,
could you just top it off a little bit?
of course I can. Oh my gosh. There is so much, but I got to remember which way to go.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
I don't know. Lauralee, you warned us.
Hey, I've had to be his wife on camera for a lot of years, so this is just something you have to get used to. I'm going to share you tonight with
Oh my gosh, we have so enjoyed. So you are both in Southern California, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, it looks as beautiful down there, Doug. I'm looking at your background as it is up here in Napa.
Gorgeous.
It's pretty wonderful.
We've got some really nice weather.
Yeah.
Are we going to toast? Should we toast?
Yes, I think we should toast.
Yes.
Cheers.
And hold
Ta-da. And then we get to drink. Yes.
Diogenes.
Oh, okay. So wait, do we spin and smell? I'm trying to learn. I'm coming out of this a better wine drinker.
That's okay. Great. So yes, the first thing I do when I look at a wine is I look at the color, because the color is that tells you something. Generally, if it's a darker, richer color, you're going to expect there's going to be more flavor in the wine when you drink it. Then you want to smell it. And okay, so this is a Pinot Noir, and it's I'm getting maybe clearly there is some dark berry fruit in this, but there also I think is a little bit of violet. I'm just thinking, or maybe there's just a little earthiness in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a pure fruit smell. There's just something else in there.
It smells
So
great.
Doug, are you with me here?
Yeah, you smell
Cherry.
Cherry, yes.
right? Cherry. Definitely a cherry or a berry for sure.
Yes.
Berry.
Yeah, and then you'll get, and I think we should get a little bit of ripe cherry here in the flavor too. Generally, this is what we get off of this vineyard.
Together, I just want to say, at night, my husband and I have that 5 o'clock big decision, red or white. We're very much wine drinkers. I never quite knew where to wear the grape pin, but I felt this was the right occasion. Someone gave.
I love it.
Then you know that maybe you drink a lot of wine when your friends give you a grocery list that already has wine.
Oh,
Saying,
my kind of gal. This is so
legit
great.
wine drinkers. We're not. This is serious stuff for us.
When my kids were little, I would threaten them that I'd say I was going to get a tattoo of some grapes on my arm. And of course they were horrified to think that, so I didn't actually, but
They think that was super cool.
Bless them. Bless.
bless. Yeah, right. No, they just somehow did not think it was cool for a mom to be doing that. But anyway. So do you all, you're not shooting now? Well, wait a minute, Doug, you are shooting now. You're back. Yeah. And Doug, you've been there. You've already been on set.
I've had 3 COVID tests. I had to have 2 before they'd let you into the building. And then they're all set up with a bunch of protocols. So you stay in your room. If you rehearse, you have to rehearse outside at social distance. And then when you get on stage, you have to wear a mask for rehearsal. And then nobody can touch your props or chairs or anything. I mean, it's really strange. I thought it was crazy before, but now it's just insane.
And so are the shots all...
We take off our masks and we do the scene, and then to rehearse the next scene, we have to put it back on again.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I don't understand the logic of that, but that's...
Well, look, you know what? Everyone has stayed safe and the show is continuing to go. So, it's working.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
I was...
say that having been there, I'll have a different feeling, I'm sure, next month.
Yeah, so Lauralee, you're back next month. You're back on.
Yeah,
great. I'll bet you're excited to go back. Are you
excited? We won't be able to, there's no hugging anymore, no kissing. So it will definitely be a different. We'll have more dialogue, I would think, more difficult dialogue. But just to see everybody again will be so wonderful. So I don't care. I'm up for anything. I get to see Doug. Doug and I are used to seeing each other, more than our families at some time. So it's weird to have not seen you since February or March.
Well, we've done a few of these kind of things.
Yes, but it's not the same. But it's still.
No, I know. But it's something.
Maybe I should just sort of get out of the way here.
I know. Folks are all about triangles.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I won't know where to get my wine.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I'll supply your wine. I will supply your wine.
Well, I have to go. I have to go this way for you.
yeah.
We'll
So,
figure it
Doug, well, like, if you're not on set, are all the shots just with one person in it, or
No,
how do you?
but they use bigger tables and we're far apart. If I were shooting it, as we mentioned with Lauralee, I think we would compress the shot so it doesn't look like we're so far away. Because you could do that, you could do that. But you have to speak up because they're so far away. I was told by the guy who plays Chance, he had a love scene and he had to get out of bed before the other girl could get in. Not the other girl, the girl. They weren't.
Right. Yeah. Got it.
That would be scandalous.
Wow.
So, I mean, there are things that are really
It's
difficult.
like what we say, it's the drama behind the drama.
Yeah.
Now, did I see a tweet or something from B&B where they're actually kissing a mannequin?
Yes, I saw that as well.
Is that happening?
I think it has happened. So two things happened on The Bold and the Beautiful. They were actually putting wigs on a mannequin, so when they went in for a kiss, they could kiss. And then some people whose spouses resembled the actor that was their real life counterpart, the spouses would come in and do the kissing and the bed scene, which is, I mean, hey.
Do you think a blow-up doll would be tasteless?
Let's talk about that when we have the third bottle of wine.
Yeah, another wine before we get to that.
Note to self, third bottle of wine, we bring up blow-up dolls again. Okay.
Oh my goodness! So you really, obviously the two of you know each other very, very well. You have cried and made each other cry, at least as Paul and Christine over so many years. And I think, Lauralee, you brought us some photos to share, right?
Did.
Yes, I think you did.
So that.
Well, someone sent us some photos.
I did.
Look at that handsome couple.
So we are at our Young and Restless fan club event, which is so much fun. Put on, with the show and Kathy Thomas, who gets all the fans from all across, sometimes like the world, that come in, and this happens every other year. So we were very happy there. We found each other. We always, in a crowded room, try and get to.
Well, it just so happened that we were both at the bar.
Probably.
I like that. Getting another glass of wine. I'm hoping. Yeah. Oh, there's one of those.
In the world, my best guy, my husband, Scott Martin. So we produced a web series called My Promise. And Anne Clements, who's watching right now, is one of the producers. She's your biggest fan. And she,
hello, Anne.
So we won for a web series where we were trying to teach kids how to not text and drive, but in like a young romantic teen way, so they didn't feel like they were being preached to. Because I had teenagers and I was so worried about that, so I was like, I'm going to try and help them, all teens, through a teen love story. So anyway, we were very happy about that. We can get back to Y&R, which I think is the next.
Wait, I just want to mention that you would not be here today if it weren't for Scott Martin.
Oh, for sure. Scott, my husband is, he's amazing. We met in high school in Chicago, and he was very popular and he was overwhelmed by the attention he was getting when he came to our school. And then I looked him up a bunch of years later, and God bless him. Here's this crazy actress in LA calling the Chicago boy saying, will you come play with me? And he was hesitant and then did, and the rest is history. We have two beautiful.
Well, I met his tech support today.
Oh. Well, yes, I would not be online right now if he didn't.
Yes, that's what I would say.
Well, I threw in the other part, which is just as important, if not more. But he's the full package. Anyway, here's Doug and I on the set when I had short hair and Doug was taller.
What? Doug was taller before?
I have short hair too.
I'm sure we're shrinking as we get older, so I'm sure he was taller there.
I'm taller in the morning. I know that.
And look, we were COVID. There was no COVID then because we were close.
That looks like a very romantic setting. There's as many candles in there as there are more candles than lights in that room.
That was our
Yeah.
that was our apartment, wasn't it? Was it the one with all the glass?
You must have been trying to get lucky that night.
Yeah. On a soap opera, it happens often.
Yeah.
What, you get lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. And then, but hopefully with the right.
I mean, in those days, we didn't have to kiss mannequins.
Yeah.
It could, I mean, it sounds interesting, but I'm glad we don't have to.
So weird.
Yeah.
Now, there's a place in on Little Washington. Oh, I digress. Go ahead. I was just going to say, there's a restaurant in the Inn in Little Washington in Virginia that actually put mannequins in the restaurant so they could social distance the actual patrons.
Oh my goodness.
That's weird.
But by the way, that is a wonderful little restaurant. I know it.
Oh,
Also,
fabulous.
it really is. It's like you're out in a little oasis away from Washington is so close, and yet you feel like you're way out in the middle of.
Amazing. The whole ambiance of the area, and it's just fabulous.
Yeah.
Anyway, this picture really briefly, I just finished two Lifetime movies that will air at the beginning of 2021. V.C. Andrews, who did Flowers in the Attic and so many great books. This is part of the Ruby series that will come out. And so I definitely had a different look and played an evil, stepmother type, and it was super fun. So when I'm not I do that.
How come you're not in the picture?
Shut up. I know Christian LeBlanc didn't know it was me.
It doesn't look like you at all. You look like a totally different person.
I'm acting. It's called acting. Actually, I'm not acting. It's just it's really interesting hair and makeup.
Yeah, it's such a different look. Yeah.
I know.
It was really fun, but it was very, I would have to scrub that red lipstick off. Do
you play like a dominatrix?
You're just going to have to watch and see. Let's drink some wine, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you just a little bit about this. We talked about that. I'm still on the Pinot Noir. I wanted to just say something. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Thank you very much, Doug.
And the labels are fabulous too.
Thank you for saying that. So Walt is my maiden name. We make 3 brands. One is Hall. That's my married name, and that's our Cabernet. And then Walt is our Pinot Noir and Chardonnay brand. And then the third brand is, we're going to have one of the third brand, Baca, in just a little bit. And I'll tell you about that when we get to it. But anyway, the thing about Pinot Noir is that it loves to grow in very cold, sort of windy, inclement locations. And I always think that this is the vineyard. This is in Anderson Valley, where Savoy Vineyard is located. It's hilly. Right now, you can see the blue sky, which sort of is the exception that proves the rule, but very often is very foggy. It's very cool in there. And as a result, it's great for Pinot Noir because Pinot Noir likes this sort of climate that is not so pleasant. Well, at least for me, not so pleasant, but it's very cool. And that allows these flavors to develop in a very sort of intense way. Pinot Noir by its nature is light-bodied. If you compare it, for example, to a Zinfandel or a Cabernet, it's much lighter in your mouth. But the beauty of this grape, I think in particular, is it just goes, it's a burst of flavor. It just gives you so much flavor. This Pinot Noir, but others as well, will give you a lot of flavor for a very light texture.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me about the soils. We have wine tasting rooms in the Funk Zone here, and one of the rooms has a bunch of different soils so you mentioned the weather pattern, but how does the soil affect the wine?
Yeah, great question. And we grow grapes in a lot of different soils as well, and because we like that variety. What soil does, it impacts the hardiness of the grape. Certain types of soils drain water very well. For example, volcanic ash soil won't hold the water. So if you have a vine growing, It's got to go very deep in order to get access the water. And in
I know. It's a cliffhanger.
Oh no.
It's like she was about to divulge the secret, and then they were like, "We
that dog with the beans."
if the harder a vine needs to struggle, the more flavorful the grape is that comes from the vine.
Black
So
doesn't matter.
what?
Your screen is totally black.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as you can hear me and you can drink the wine.
We missed the part from the volcanic ash beyond.
Okay.
So
Well, okay. So volcanic ash is one type. Doug, you are down in the Santa Barbara area. A lot of the soil down in that area tends to be this old seabed type of soil. And that creates this, has the effect that has on the grapes is it's makes the vine be more rigorous to access the water, but it also imparts minerality to the wine. So what I want to have on, for example, my Pinot Noir, I want to have some fruit, but I also want to be able to have some minerality, and that's where the soil is so special.
Does that give you the earthiness that you were talking about earlier?
Right. It does. The earthiness, another way to, yeah, it does. Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes if you are, if we were tasting today, one of my wines are, we make several wines that come down from Santa Barbara, and any of those wines, if we put that side by side along with this Savoy wine that's from up in Mendocino County, you would notice the minerality in the wine. It's just, there's subtle differences, but they become actually big differences when you can taste a wine side by side. Yeah. So yes, the soil makes a difference.
You're back.
So
I'm back.
Well,
now, could you hear me when I was talking? Or
well, there was a portion we could. You disappeared.
Well, okay.
But
well, you say it.
Someone asked, "Is she back?" I said no, but I don't see you, but I hear you.
You don't see her now?
Nope.
Oh,
but that's
Gee, I'm really not quite sure, but you know what? I'll start with this. Everybody wants to see you and not me. So that's good. I'm glad they can see you. And we're going to figure out a way to get me back, I'm sure. And I'm just going to sort of.
Oh.
There you are. Can you see me?
No.
He's had too much to drink.
Yeah. I am so not sure. I am sorry about this, but
listen. As long as we can hear you, we're good. So
okay, well, good. So I can see you, and by the way, can I just say you both look marvelous? Okay, now, okay. Well, let me take this opportunity just to say to all our viewers that Lauralee and Doug have very graciously said that they would answer some questions during the show. So ask away. We will get to them over the course of our program as we go along. I know that we're going to have a lot of questions from your fans who are watching. You are close to the camera, Doug. Is that because you can't see me or hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. And then there's something on the right here. And I thought those were the questions.
Okay, no, I'm going to give you the questions. It's called control.
I also just want to say, Catherine, that I feel like in this day where a lot of people just really aren't, leaving their home, like if it's an anniversary or if it's a birthday or like the winemakers and just the gift of a bottle of wine in that's really what is making memories right now. Like, for anniversaries, if we're not going to go out, you say, what do you want to have a little dinner? And then a fine bottle of wine is really what our memories are at this time. Like, I can't tell you how much, like, if I'm thinking, oh, we're not going to go out for another week, we'll have a special dinner and I'll light a little votive candle and we'll pull out a nice bottle of wine. And it turns out in a difficult situation to really still be a memorable evening. So that's, very in part for me due to the bottle of wine that we have that night.
I love that.
You always say thank you to all your guests, and I just want to say thank you because you are making memories for a lot of people right now, whether you understand how much of a part you are in their dinner time in their kitchen.
That's such a kind thing to say.
On day 3 of the lockdown, I posted a plate full of corks, and I said day 3 lockdown, and there were like 25 corks piled up.
And how about now?
I've had a wheelbarrow. I've actually made a guest house out of wine corks. It's good because during floods, it floats and returns to the earth.
I think we have to worry a lot about floods out in California. Maybe not.
We didn't used to.
No.
We had the burn, right? So then we had the deluge. We had a fire in December and then a deluge in the 9th of January. So the whole mountain came down. It was actually a horrible tragedy. Closed the hotels, closed the freeway. It was horrible.
Where are you? This is in Santa Barbara? Oh my goodness. I should know that. I think I've probably been so consumed with our own issues that I haven't.
Well, you had the fire before, I think, or during.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Okay, so you all
held up the second bottle?
Yes. Oh, good. Well, do hold up the second bottle and we will, okay, the second bottle is that. Thank you very much for doing that, Lauralee. We're just, the show is going on and I'm glad. So I want to ask you all I've got a series of some sort of quick little lighthearted questions to ask you that I thought might be kind of fun to give folks some insight into Lauralee and Doug behind Christine and Paul. Yeah. So
I'm going back to the first bottle if we're regressing.
Yes. Okay. You can go back to I'll tell you what.
We
could just go to the second bottle. Why not? It's our show. Yeah. Let's do this. So this is the second wine. It's a Zinfandel. This is it's called baca, which means
show it again.
Grape. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. So we're all going to pour our own this time. Okay. All right.
Don't cheat and look what's in it. Put the bottle down. Doug.
I was reading the label. It's pretty interesting, actually.
It tastes like a little this and be spot on because you read it.
Yeah, that would be
the game.
That's okay. So this is, I love this brand. It's our newest brand. It makes mostly Zinfandels, although it experiments with some other wines. And this is run by my daughter. It's her her idea. Yeah, it's really fun. And so what has happened, I think, to Zinfandel over the years is that it's gotten, in general, sort of old and tired. Zinfandel was actually the first grape. My dad was a grower, and the first grape my dad ever planted was a Zinfandel. It's the old sort of quintessential California grape. And it became over the years sort of a almost clumsy, sort of big, very big footprint wine, but without a lot of elegance. And so what we are trying to do with we make a variety of different Zinfandels under the baca label, is to try to make wines that are really quality using this really beautiful grape. And so that's this. Oh, great. So this is a picture of this is a vineyard in Paso Robles. This is where this particular wine comes from. We're just moving south for you guys, I want you to know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a vineyard look like that before.
Right. Well, this is still unusual, but it is more typical for Zinfandel than it is for other grapes, because in the old days, when the farmers used to plant Zinfandel, even in my dad's days, which was a long time ago, but not at the very beginning in California, these are called head trained. So every one of these vines sort of stands on its own. Yeah. And so as a result,
is that how it does that?
Say what?
Do you crop the top?
Oh, we do. We crop it a little bit. You do. But basically, this is a pretty natural growth. You want to cut it back a little because if you don't cut back a vine, all the energy from a vine is going to go into the wood or the leaves and not into the vine, not into the grape, which is where you want it to go.
So Zinfandel doesn't have to be tied to a stick.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. And I think, one could argue these sort of these old vineyards they're almost heritage vineyards that have been left as they used to be. I mean, now really the irony of this is part of the reason that Zinfandel vineyards were able to stay like this is because there wasn't a lot of competition for Zinfandel land. It has just not been that much in demand, but it is getting more and more so. And I think we will find as the Zinfandel wines get better and better, that we're going to see a lot of improvement in the way these are farmed. But I still like this type of farming like this. Yeah.
I love this.
One, when you said it was your dad's first, what's the time frame of that? How long ago was that?
He first planted in the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty.
The beginning of California wine.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there were vineyards that were planted in the mid 19th century. And they were it wasn't very commercial, but there were vines then, but he was pretty early on. Yeah.
Now, as I recall, that's when California wines began to get international reputation.
Exactly. And there's the famous challenge where the California grapes were put up against some French grapes, and with all these French critics who were real snobs. And then by mistake, they picked the California wine as being the best.
I think that's so great.
Yeah, it was a pretty sweet moment.
Yeah, that's what started the whole thing, really, huh?
Yeah. It really, really did. Okay, so do you like this wine, you guys?
I love this wine.
It's a little heavier than the.
Right.
Okay.
It is. Zinfandel is heavier than a Pinot Noir. It tends to have, it's more fruit. Like, I think whereas on the other, it was lighter, more like a cherry. This is sort of, I still get cherry in this, but it's like riper. It's darker. It's bigger. So Zinfandel I think it's great for pairing with a lot of Italian foods, pizza, barbecue. It's sort of very flavorful things that want a wine that has a sweetness on it. This is somewhat sweet, but there's no sugar in it, but it has an illusion of sweetness because there's so much fruit. So anyway, now
the leg thing.
Oh, the leg thing. Yeah. There's some. Yeah. So that the legs, when people talk about legs, so you swirl the wine. For those of you, and the alcohol on the wine sort of clings to the side of the glass, and the way it comes down the side of the glass is sort of in these streaks, and those are called legs. Yeah. So you're seeing that?
It doesn't drain down. If I have anything to say about it.
Well, I like that.
I have a question too, because I brought over that you would always prefer that reds be in more of a boat.
I like them more in a boat. Yeah.
They have different classes for Pinot and Zin and Cab and what are why are the shapes so different?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think the main thing that you want about if a wine like a Pinot Noir is very light, you want to be able to capture its aromas because they will be more delicate. So that's why you want to have a bowl, more of a bowl, right? So that when you are swirling it, it'll give you more of a chance to get the aromas and to come out. A white wine will have a skinnier glass because it's served chilled in general, and when you chill a wine, you don't get as much. The aromas are pretty much squelched. You get some, but not as much. Cabernets, I use a big glass for a Cabernet as well. Really, Lauralee, I like bigger wines anyway, just because bigger glasses, just because I can get the nose more. So we're going to have a Cabernet in a little later, but this is my empty version of that. So it's also.
Oh, I can't see you.
Oh, you can't? Yes, you can. Really?
You're frozen.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, okay, this is the time I'm just going to ask you guys some questions, and I apologize for this. Okay. Here we go. Lauralee, I'm going to start with you, ladies first. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you start your day?
Oh,
as you can see, these are not going to be difficult, but they're fun.
I have a senior in high school. I have an older son, but I still, act like I'm driving her to school. I get up, I feed our dog, and I kind of get her ready for her Zoom day. So I make some coffee, and it's very boring, but it's like what any mom would do. I'm assuming it's getting up, getting the dogs, the animals fed, and your children fed, and then thinking about yourself once they're settled.
Good grief. So your kids are all homeschooled.
Wine at 5 o'clock. I'm jonesing for it. Anyway.
Oh, goodness. How about, your kids are homeschooled, your one child is homeschooled, or not homeschooled, but is on this, yeah.
Because of COVID, right?
Yes, because of the COVID.
Because of COVID, yeah. Okay, Doug, I'm almost afraid to ask you this question. What did you have for dinner last night? What did you have to drink with your dinner last night?
I had, I'm a gin and tonic fan.
Oh.
So I had a gin and tonic during the cocktail hour, and I did not have any wine.
Ooh.
Right before I did.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but it's the number 17. The 17.
It's a hall wine.
Yeah.
Oh, 1873.
1873.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. That's our blend from it's mountain fruit. Okay.
Yeah, fabulous.
You liked it? Oh, I'm glad. So those are really big, powerful. I mean, they're all mountain vineyards, and so. Okay.
I had it with chicken, but it was still great. I loved it.
Loved it. So, okay, Lauralee, you've had a boutique, so I'm figuring that clothes are an important part of your life. What have you been wearing during sheltering in place?
I have, like what everybody else has been wearing. I am in sweats. I do wear pants. A lot of people tease about not wearing pants on the Zoom calls. I wear jeans or pajamas, but without a doubt, the first time I put on a dress for either the first night we were allowed to go out for a date night, it felt weird. It felt strange. And I'm such a heel girl. I've been on the soap since I was 13 on and off. And so I've grown up in heels. So I have turned into a flat girl, which is really odd too. But I think now that I'm older, it will only be a good thing for my feet. I don't know what's going to happen when I come back to work. But yeah, I've just cozy clothes, anything cozy. Even when it's been hot here, I still wear Uggs. I'm a weird creature. I'm always cold. Cozy wear. So this is the sweatpants has been a happy fashion choice for me.
That sounds.
How about you, Doug? Doug, what have you been wearing?
Depends on the weather. Sometimes I'm like a fawn in the spring.
Okay.
Oh. My, that's very poetic.
Moment to imagine your own thought on that. That's why he has the bird cage behind him.
Yeah. I have to wait until the Cabernet to talk about blow-up dolls. So I'm keeping it clean for that.
We may have to go before the blow-up talk.
Yeah. Hey, listen. why don't let's go on to the Cabernet, speaking of
Oh,
that. So come on, you guys. So
Yep.
now you pour your own and I will do the same. So this is our Jack's masterpiece. Oh, thank you very much, Doug, because I don't know if people can see mine. Thank you, Lauralee.
They
I mean-
can't. It's blurry.
They can't see you. It's as if, Catherine, it's as if we worked this out. So it would just be all about us.
That's what everybody wants.
You
Anyway,
signed
so
the bottle.
Yeah.
So Greg, I assume, is your husband?
Craig is my husband. Yes, he is. So this wine it's actually spearheaded, the winemaking part of this is spearheaded by the president of our winery, who used to be our winemaker. And now, and then as we got larger, we needed him to move into the role of president, which he did. But he still makes one wine. And this is the one that he makes. And he names it after his son, who is Jack.
Wow.
And, yeah. So I actually think we have a picture here of little Jack, which is really fun for us to show. So
Oh my gosh.
is that the cutest?
Oh, wait a minute. So wait, I have to look at the label again. He did the label.
He did the label.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
Isn't that the cutest?
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, a very well-known artist as well. So it's all the labels, Catherine, all the labels I think are they're as good as the wines. Like there's the whole bottle. Like I would be proud to give this bottle as a gift to someone, because not only is it you don't have to wrap it, it's pretty to look at and it's great to taste. So that story is incredible.
Thank you. So this is one of our, what, Doug?
Does Jack take commissions?
No, Jack doesn't take commissions. Jack, by the way, doesn't know a life without having a wine named after him. So, but anyway, but this is one of our big, more structured Cabernets, and I think it's really showing really nicely. So, you all, we have gone longer, and you have been so gracious to come on the program, and then on top of that, to take over when and show the labels, and just have such wonderful conversation when we're having our technical difficulties on our end. But can I just say, you have given me so much joy over so many years, and it's just been such a great pleasure to see you both.
So sweet.
Thank you.
We can't
very,
wait.
very much. Well, I look forward to welcoming you when you come back to Napa. And so for now, I'll just say to you both, thank you so much.
Thank you, Catherine.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers to you all. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us today. It's been wonderful. I'm sorry we had the technical difficulties that we did, but I hope you had a chance to taste the wine, and aren't Doug and Lauralee just wonderful people. So we will be back. I'll be back next week. These happy hours are continuing on Tuesday. Jeff is going to be back. He's back with Kate Flannery, whom you know because she was Meredith on The Office. So that's going to be a great program. I look forward to that, and I hope you will join us for then. And then I'll be seeing you in the programs ahead. To you all, thank you again for joining us. And until we meet again, stay healthy and sip up.